I'm Blanco, CEO of PortaOne, and today we're going to talk about gradual software updates in telecom. For most of operators, the user experience about updating their network or their BSS system looks similar to what is shown here. First, we're all excited about new features and capabilities we are going to get. This is when we just learn about new opportunities. Then we have to prepare the update and test meticulously various existing scenarios, our current customers, our legacy products, and that's usually a long and tiresome process. Then the actual update happens. This is when we keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. And unfortunately, as experience shows, sometimes that doesn't happen the best, and we do have some issues. Once the update is done, it's too early to relax because then there's a part when we start getting complaints about poor user experience or something has changed that users are accustomed to, or something doesn't work the way it was expected or used to be working. So we have to deal with those things. And then finally, we are done with update. We are happy, we can relax, but because this took so long, by this time when we are just get to a happy state, it's time to start a new update again. So this happy state usually doesn't last very long. Is there a way out of this? Yes. The idea is to avoid this one big jump updates with all the very laborious preparations and then uncertainty at the update. Why don't we do it gradually? Why don't we move our customer base, small groups, small batches, and observe them, and only go further when we are 100% sure that everything's going to work fine? So with our dual version system, it works in a way that we first move a pilot batch of customers. They experience the new system. We turn them into this long tail tester. So they let us know if any specific features are working the way it's expected. Once we know it works fine, then we can continue migration. And these batches can be per customer group, per product, per seller, so we can pick and choose what is happening there. If a certain group of customers is experiencing problems, we can roll back, but we don't have to roll back the whole system, the whole update. No, we can only roll back the subset of the customers who are experiencing problems. This will give us sufficient amount of time to fix the issue and then resume the migration. So what's under the hood? We have obviously two separated systems on the older version, on the newer version. When we do the migration, we have a portal utility which does the data transformation. And then we have the middleware dispatching SBC. This is something which actually makes the process transparent to end users and your carrier partners. It intercepts requests which are coming for REST API, through radius or diameter or VoIP calls, and then it routes this request to the system where currently customer is residing. So this way, even when we do move or if we roll back, it does not affect the customer. We don't have to change anything. The carriers don't have to change anything. So it's fully automated and transparent. The outcome, and that's something which we've already seen in practice with our customers. So the typical efforts to do an update, and on y-axis we show the total effort, and here we show calendar time, so delayed go-to-market. So on a single release, we are saving calendar time and we are saving a lot of engineering resources, and that's usually very valuable, very limited resource, because again, we don't have to test all the possible scenarios in-house. What's even better, if we are talking about migrations through several releases, so if we have a large gap of releases to cover, then the savings are becoming much more significant because we're compressing them into one. And that's something which we already apply in practice. On the past projects, the largest amount of customers we did in one migration was about 500,000 subscribers. We did this migration across a gap of software version of about 2.5 years. So there was quite a lot of changes in the functionality of the platform. And during the process, there was the maximum amount of time an individual subscriber was locked out of the service. They could not access it because they had been ported, was only 28 seconds. So it's really not something noticeable. And the question you're going to ask, can this work with your BSS? Can it work with your network if you're not using PortaSwitch? Yes, it can. The idea is you will be then responsible for defining your transformation rules, how you convert customer data from older version to the newer one, and mapping criteria for routing the calls. And in most cases, it is straightforward. Obviously, if you have a customer ID to know which system to send to. Sometimes, if you have more complex scenarios with authorization, it just will require some administration. But the idea is you can use this to do updates from your BSS systems from older version to newer one. You can use it for migrating from one BSS to another one. And you could also use this as a way to slowly and gradually move your customers from your on-premise BSS into cloud system. So let's connect, let's work together on getting you on this path of gradual software evolution. Thank you.